Right, so get into a comfy position, and that could be lying down or sitting up. Just finding a place where you feel settled and supported. And we're going to start with a gentle relaxation first to ease the body into some gentle movement. And you could allow your eyes to close or just soften the gaze. And begin by taking some long, slow breaths, ideally in and out through the nose wherever you can. And bring your attention to noticing each in-breath as you breathe in, and each exhale. Noticing the breath as it enters your nostrils, travels down your lungs, causing your belly to expand as you breathe in. And then your out breath, allowing your belly to contract slightly, and the air moving back up through the lungs, out through your nostrils. And notice how that breath feels. Notice if it feels cool as it enters, or warm as it leaves, or dry or moist. And then begin to let go of noises around you. Allow your breath to settle. And if your mind wanders off, just notice it wandering. Just observe it without getting worried. Watching the thought as it enters your awareness, as neutrally as you can. And then allowing the thoughts to just drift away. Maybe like a leaf floating down a stream. And then practice coming back to your breath with your full attention, bringing your awareness back to the gentle rise of your stomach on your in-breath and the letting go of your out-breath. Allow yourself to be completely with your breath as it flows in and out. And you may become distracted by pain or discomfort in the body, or twitching or itching, anything that draws your attention away from your breath. So just be aware of that and then allow yourself to come back to your breath each time. Just noticing where your mind goes without any judgment, without feeling like you have to push it away or wishing it were different. Just keep guiding your attention back to your breath. And then we're going to settle. If you're sitting up, we're going to settle back onto our backs and allow the knees to bend. And if you've brought a band, feel free to place it across your pelvis. And hold it lightly across the pelvis. And as you breathe in, I'd like you to tilt your pubic bone away from your nose. And then breathe out, tilt pubic bone towards your nose. So breathing in, tilting away. Breathing out, tilting back. So smooth and slow. Keeping the movement very small and gentle. And the band is optional and just there to help you become connected with the movement of your pelvis. And allow the pelvis to start creating really tiny circles. Super tiny. That's it. And super tiny the other way as well. Just double checking you're not bringing loads of tension to your shoulders and your jaw as you do this. And then bring your pelvis to somewhere in the middle. As we float the knees towards one side, breathe in. And then breathe out as you return them back. So breathing in, floating them to the other side. Breathing out as you return. That's it, paying attention to your spine, the gentle rotation that we're introducing into our backs just with the flow of the knees. And as you're doing this, imagine the lubrication that you're gaining in your hips, in the sacroiliac joint. It's called synovial fluid, and it's a good thing. So the more hydrated you are, the better the synovial fluid will be as well. So gentle sways. And then you could turn your head to the opposite direction to your knees. So gently moving from side to side. That's it. And everything I suggest is just a suggestion. So if turning your head today doesn't feel good, then feel free not to do it, or feel free to make it really small. And then as we continue with the swaying knees, we're going to circle the pelvis at the same time. So knees are going to sway along with the pelvis. And then we're going to turn the nose, so circle the nose at the same time. So now we're getting some very gentle movement going all the way through your spine, right the way up to your neck. Just need to be gentle and smooth. And allow yourself to go the other way as well. And then bring yourself back to a settled position. And if you've been holding onto the band, give your hands a little wiggle to let them not get too stiff and sore from today. And then you might like to lay the band out again, and this time press down lightly with your palms. So we're going to encourage a little bit of activation or resistance in the band now. And as I mentioned before, this is optional. The band doesn't need to happen at all, especially if you're holding tension in your shoulders today. So we're going to lightly press down as we gently press up into the band. So if you don't have a band, you're going to lightly lift the pelvis, just a touch, just enough to maybe even slide a slice of paper underneath you, and then release. So we're going to go for some buttock clenching today. So we're going to clench the buttocks as we push up the pelvis into the band and then release away from it. And as you do this, try and think length in your legs. Imagine the legs pulling your spine away as you gently lift up. And then every time you lower your spine back down, it feels longer and lengthened. That's it, super smooth and slow. That's it. And if you're having a really good day and you think, I want a bit more today, you could maybe press up a tiny bit higher. But just be aware that if you've got wedges underneath you, don't come up too high. Wedges or pillows. Stick with keeping your rib cage on the floor. So send the knees away. If you're noticing your knees feel uncomfortable, putting a ball or a cushion between your knees really helps here. And then we're going to place our lengthened spine down on the floor, and we're going to maintain that length. So see if you can now press the middle of your back down into the bed or the mat. So you've created a kind of a flat back position. And I'd like you to maintain that position by using your tummy muscles. So if you pull the belly button back just a touch towards the bed, that would be perfect. Now this band is going to act as feedback if your pelvis moves. So if you want to, if you don't have the band, you could put your hands across your pelvis instead. And we're going to go for stability as we send one leg away. That's it, still maintaining the flat back position. So you may not be able to go very far with that leg without suddenly you losing the flat back position. So try and maintain that with your belly button as you move the knee away and then gently return it back. And at this point you might have held your breath because you're doing so many things all in one go. So see if you could introduce some breathing into this as well as you swap from one knee to the other. So this is a sustained hold of your core muscles. Okay, so do feel free to rest whenever you need to as we do this move. If anyone's heard me talk about slow twitch and fast twitch muscle fibres, we're working the slow twitch muscle fibres at the moment, which are the stability ones. Some of you might fancy exploring even more and challenging your body more by lifting and pushing a leg away. That could be an option for you to try. And if you're having a really good day, you might like to try having your knees up here and pushing one leg away at a time, maintaining that flat back position. I'm so not up to that at the moment. So go for it if it feels good. Now that is a lot for our tummy muscles. So allow your palms to rest upwards and then sway your knees gently side to side, allowing your tummy to switch off. Deep breaths into the belly will support that as well. So do feel free to take some nice deep breaths. Okay, so there's been lots of focused attention on legs and tummy. We're going to go to the arms for a little bit, and we're going to do windscreen wipers or dumbwaiter. So if you're having a potsy day and you're just feeling a bit icky and anything with hands above head doesn't feel good for you, you're going to move into dumb waiter, where you're going to open the hands away from each other, tucking the elbows in, and then returning them back. So that's your option. And this can be done with or without the band. So without the band, it'll look like this. With the band, you'll be holding it very lightly in your fingers and pressing on the inside of the band and then releasing. So that's your version. For anyone who wants to do windscreen wipers, you're going to bring the band or bare hands up, and we're going to gently move the band from side to side, not too far, being mindful of your shoulders and keeping them in their joints if you've got hypermobility. That's it, so that's an option. For this one, you could turn your palms towards your feet. And if you're using the band, you could keep one hand still and draw one hand out and then release. That's an option for you if you fancy. So I'll go this way a little bit so you can see. So I'm keeping one hand still, the other's drawing out. If you're doing the dumb waiter version, you could do the same, where you're moving one hand out, pressing into the band lightly, and then the other side. So we're all just listening to our bodies and giving our bodies what we need today. That's it. Just keep breathing for me. Maddie, it looked like you were holding your breath then. I was like, when's she going to breathe? Are you all right? Are you coping?
Yeah, just pain.
Yeah, it's really tough. Well done for bringing yourself here. Okay, so now we're going to bring this band, if you're using a band, and tucking it behind the knees. Okay, so without the band, you'll be going robots. So you'll be going like this, bending the hand back to the shoulder and releasing. If you have got the band, it'll be the same. I recommend not having too much resistance in the band as you draw it back towards the shoulder and release. Drawing it back and releasing. So I'm going super gentle with my band today, making sure there's lots of slack in it. But obviously you can choose to go hard if you want to. Just try not to push yourself too hard, because I don't want you suffering for the rest of the day. Smooth and slow. And if you fancy doing the doubles, you could draw both back and return. If you're not using a band, you might like to change the angle of your hand. So before it was very much robot, like this, hands facing into each other. You might like to pretend you're holding weights and turn the palms up instead. That could be an option. And then when you're ready, we're going to relax, open the palms to the sky, let the shoulders and the arms switch off for a moment, let the hands rest. And of course, breathe. So I've got options now for triceps. So you could hold on to these really heavy weights in your hands and press the fists down into your bed and then release. That's it. If you're in a bed, you've got that added bonus of having some give, so it'll work those muscles more. If you're on a mat, you may not feel this quite so much. So that's one option here. Or the other option is bringing the hands together above your head and pressing up and then returning. That's it. Just letting Carol in. By the way, Anne-Marie, your hand is raised. If you want to say anything, do feel free to talk. But it's probably because we've been doing this, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, final one. Hi, Carol. We've got funny echo going on today in class, so everybody's muted themselves. So it's a bit quiet. Okay, now we're going to draw the sword, but we're going to draw a sword on each side of our bodies. So without the band, you're going to grab your sword and then draw it away and then draw it back. So it's that crossover position. Each time you do it, cross the hand the opposite way on the top. Similar with the band. So here you would cross the band in front of your legs and make sure there's lots of slack as you draw it away and return. That's it. Being sure that you keep your shoulders gentle and relaxed. Okay. And then when you're ready, give your body a chance to just recover, taking a moment. So we've got the option now of rolling over onto our side, if that works for you. Either way, if you're working with a band, we're going to put the band underneath the top foot if you're going on the side, as you roll to one side. But this can, of course, be done on your back instead if you prefer. That's it. So we're grabbing onto the band, we're bending the knee, and we're pushing that leg away and returning. Have a look down at your knee as you're doing this and just double check that you're not letting it lock as you send it away. Okay, so looks pretty much the same if you're here, pressing and returning. And that hand that is holding onto the band, just double check the shoulders away from your ears. That's it. And then we're going to lengthen and press lightly back and return. So pushing back, making sure the knee's not locked backwards, and return. If you're here on your back, it's the same in a way, but you're just pressing down away from you, keeping the leg much lower as you press away, squeezing that buttock. And then we're going to relax the hands away from the band if you're using a band today. And we're going to take a moment to chill, either on your side or on your back. That's it. Just let your hands recover. And we're going to move into the Charleston. So we're going to internally rotate at the hip and return, and externally rotate at the hip and return. So this is what it looks like as you're lying on your side. If you're lying on your back, stick with just one leg as you slide one foot away, keeping the knees together, and return, and then slide the knee away, keeping the feet together, and return. And then bring your leg just a little bit in front to give it some love. And we're going to wrap the hand to the chest as we rotate the top part of the spine away, keeping that leg forward and returning. So it's a small move as you do this. It's a bit like an adapted book opener. An option for the back, very similar, reaching one hand across, keeping the feet planted, and return. And then if you're on the back, you've got the bonus of being able to swap sides. And then when you're ready, just take a moment to relax. We're going to roll over onto the other side when you're ready, and this band will go over the top foot. That's it. Just take your time. Getting yourself nicely set up. Oop. And if you're on your back, you're going to do exactly the same, but just with the other leg this time. So just let your brain adjust to when you've rolled over. Well done. And we're going to lightly push and release. Gently pushing away from your body and releasing. Remember, if you're on your back, you're going up here. That's it. And we're going to lightly press away and press back and return. So pressing back, squeezing that top buttock and returning. If you're on your back, you're pressing down and returning. I keep forgetting what I'm doing when I move on the side. There we go. Squeezing that buttock. And then we're going to take a moment to rest our hands from the band as we move into the Charleston. So drawing the foot up and then drawing the knee up very gently. That's it. If you're on your back, looks very similar. So you would keep your knees together, slide the foot out, and then keep the feet together and slide the knee out. and allowing the leg to rest by drawing it up. You might want to give it a little bit of love. As we cross the hands over the chest, and we're going to gently rotate and gently return. Remembering, if you're on your back, you can reach across and return. And we're going to finish on this one, and then roll it back over onto our backs. And we're going to bring the band doubled, if you want to go behind the knees, like so, where you'll be able to flex the heels, or doubled if it's long enough, or singled otherwise behind your feet. Just whichever version you're doing, be aware of face pingage potential. If you don't have a band, you can hold onto your leggings or behind your thighs if that works for you, or just bring one leg up. So we're hanging out upside down, and I'd like you to shuffle your spine a little bit to try and lengthen the spine on the surface you're resting on, and then flex the heels and lengthen the legs and breathe into that position. Some of you might really enjoy getting a bit more resistance in there as you're breathing, just gentle breathing. And here, instead of holding it for long periods, if you're hypermobile, you could circle. So now you've got a nice active mobilizing instead of a static stretch. That's it. Asta's demoing perfectly with this version here, circling like this. Did I mention face pingage potential? Just being aware of it. Yes, I did. Thanks, Carol. Okay, for anyone who fancies a bit of a play, some people at this point might think this would be a really good idea, where we push the band down and push into a teaser and then roll back again. Some of you will be like, Leanne, that's just going to set off my POTS or make me dizzy or sick, or that's just not possible. But it's an option if anyone fancies doing a teaser, like so, and then back again. Okay. If that doesn't work for you, you could send one leg away gently and return. That's it. So there's more of you up for a bit of a play than I expected. Oh. So just relax those shoulders, whichever version you're doing. And then we're going to move into a seated position for those of you who feel up to doing so. So feel free to bring yourself upright, however you choose to do that, or stay exactly where you are if you want to end the class lying down. And hopefully your spine will feel like it's had a nice old lengthening, mobilising moment. So if you're lying down, I'd like you to reach gently towards your ankle and then return. If you're sitting up, reaching gently away, sit and return. Well done, breathing as you do this. And whichever version you're doing, you might like to imagine you pulling up your pants on one side, right up to Simon Cowell level, that's it. Or Bridget Jones, even better. And then if you're lying down, you might like to sway your knees gently side to side. If you're sitting up, you might like to reach across to your opposite knee and beyond and walk your fingers away from you and then drag them back. So you're rotating and reaching and dragging them back. Then we're going to come back to the centre. That's it. A little bit of gentle cat and cow, or if you're lying down, you'd be doing some gentle pelvic tilts. So smooth and slow. And then we're going to sit up super tall and reach the hands up to the height that's available to you as you breathe in. And exhale, press the hands down past your chest in celebration and honour of your gorgeous bodies. Well done, everybody. Well done.